Hey everyone, how are you doing? Getting closer to that weekend, are we, huh? In yesterday's video, I was saying we are getting closer to the weekend. I forgot to mention it was hump day, I believe. But anyhow, getting closer to the weekend. And first I want to start with, so I don't forget, my son and I watch movies on my phone, but sometimes my phone gets funny and then the circle goes round and round and round and round. Pretty sure it's the phone that's going because, story of my life. But anyhow, we just wait and whatever, and we get to watch it. So he picked out one, and it was called something like The Memory Keeper's Daughter. I don't remember. It was a Lifetime movie. Now, some Lifetime movies are kind of thrillers or like scary. They weren't. The first ones I was watching weren't, but this is such a heartwarming story. Gosh, it's so good. Watch it. Everyone should watch it. I think it's such a good story. I mean, I'm not gonna give away anything, but it's some parts. I can't say that. I don't want to give anything, but it's such a good movie. I think every human being in the world should watch it. It's so much to do with your heart, and questions right and wrong. And basically, the whole theme is about people's hearts, I would say. It's such a beautiful movie. I mean, it's not like a Christmas movie or anything. It's just unbelievably. It's funny, these Hallmark, what's it called? These Lifetime movies I watch, I always say to my son, I could have wrote that because it's before it happens, I'm saying it. And it's not because I've watched so many at the beginning. But this one was one that I really, there's another one I watched, I don't remember. But you really didn't know, like, it's like the game Clue. Since I was little, I always wanted the game Clue. To this day, I've never had it or played it. But that's probably why I like to solve these kind of mysteries. But this was not a mystery. This is like a nice, the family. I don't think there was anything bad, like you had a little kid with you. I don't remember. No, not really. This was nothing bad, but it's such a good, like I said, everybody do yourself a favor and watch that movie. It's excellent. So we just watch it on YouTube because we don't have no streaming stuff, so it's all you need. But today what I want to talk about, just some fun fact that I came across. I was like I said, I Google a lot of things if I don't know, or if I see a word which I'm not familiar with, so I'll Google it or whatever. So as I was Googling something, it brought me to something else, and it was about Olive Garden, the restaurant. I don't know if you have ever went there, but I mentioned before we used to get gift cards for Christmas, and that was one of the gift cards I got was Olive Garden, and that was a restaurant my cousin, when he came to visit us, he is now gone to heaven with the rest of my family, but when he came here, he would take the kids and I to Olive Garden because they loved it. We just all, as a family, we loved that place. And then later, he'd bring me to Red Lobster because he knew how much I loved Red Lobster. And he always used to say, he liked when we went to Red Lobster because he knew he could drink he wasn't like a drinker, but he could have some beers. And because I would drive him back to his hotel. He usually stayed at a hotel. I don't know why. I always told him to stay here. He did actually stay a lot, but I guess when they started having kids, they would stay at a hotel. But the last few years, he came alone. The last many years, he came alone, just him. But anyhow, he says, because I don't drink, so I could drink him home and bring him home. But anyhow, so, it has a lot of meaning to us, plus we like it and all. So I started reading about it. And it said that the Olive Garden had started, or I don't know how they phrased it, in 1982 by, I was going to do a question, like I'd say by who, and then you comment, and then I will, the next video, answer, but I don't see many comments, so no point in doing that, right? Not wasting my precious time doing that. But anyhow, not saying, I don't want to comment, that's your prerogative, but anyhow, back to my story. So it was opened by General Mills, I believe, a cereal company. Then later on, it was taken over by another company. I don't remember, and I didn't concentrate on remembering because I have so much in my head I got to do. Not enough room to fit any more stress in there. So anyhow, I thought there was an interesting fact, and they also talked about the mints that they give away at the end. So if you've never gone to Olive Garden, you have no clue what I'm talking about. If you don't have an Olive Garden, it is a restaurant, Italian, well, they say, I guess unless you're Italian, maybe you wouldn't call it Italian, but I've had real Italian food, so I think it's, obviously it's not known as cooking, like Italian grandmother, but it's pretty good. So anyhow, they always have an endless supply of breadsticks, and they are out of this world. So it's an Italian restaurant, basically. But I know they have like a meal. I think my cousin ordered it once. It was like almost not steak tips, but something like sirloin. I don't know, some kind of steak meat in pieces on noodles. Maybe it had Alfredo. I don't know, something like that. So they do. Well, I don't know. Is Alfredo Italian? Maybe, I don't know. Probably, because it's on pasta. But anyhow, it's like chicken parmesan, spaghetti, and they have a kids menu, they have pizza, again, Italian. Yeah, it's pretty much Italian food. And I remember they have wine, I think they have Zinfandel something. My cousin used to like that. We had it together when I went to their house when I was of age. They would always have some wine. I remember Zinfandel something. See, when you don't drink, you can't remember long ago when, Zinfandel maybe? I don't know. Anyhow, I remember he says, come on, Sandra. And he's the only one who called me Sandra. Come on, just have a little. Because they would bring, oh yeah, I haven't been there in so long. When you go down, they said, would you like to try the house wine, or, I don't know, the day of the wine of the day, whatever it was. So I would, when I went with him, I would take a sip. Because he always said, come on, Sandra. Or sometimes we went there a lot on Christmas Eve on my first marriage as a family. Oops, I keep moving this. I don't know about the second one. I think we sometimes went there for my birthday. Took the whole fam out. But anyhow, I don't want to talk about this second part of my life. But anyhow, back to the first part. We went there. I remember going there a lot for birthdays. My mom liked to go there. She liked Red Lobster. She always wanted to take us. And I said, don't, it's too much money. So, but anyhow, it's too much money for her. Back then, we were much better off. But anyhow, so they have Italian food and endless breadsticks. You can have as much as you want. And they are out of this world. Actually, I've never looked up a copycat recipe for that. I'm sure they have it. But they were talking about the mints. So anyone who knows, who's been to an Olive Garden, knows at the end, they hand you mints. I never thought of that, how I didn't, because I think too much. But then I started thinking, and Polly already knew. My son knew. He's like, you're thinking, are you, right? You're trying to figure it out. Yep, I am. So my first thought would be they probably gave it because, they use probably garlic, because Italians use garlic, a lot of garlic in their cooking. And if you're Italian and you don't, that's okay. I'm just saying my experience with Italian food, with Italians right off the boat from Italy, use a lot of garlic. So I thought maybe it was for that, so your breath would be fresh. Maybe someone was going out afterward, right? No, that's not the reason. Actually, I don't think there's a reason. They says they're famous for their, just like their, I should have wrote down the thing, but it doesn't really matter in the scheme of life, right? But as famous they are for their endless breadsticks, they are for giving mints out at the end of your meal. So it's nothing to do with, well, I don't think they'd write, even if it was. It probably is when you think about for your breath, but they're not going to write that, because then people go there and think, oh, I'm not going here. They think my breath smells. But, I mean, so what? If you eat Italian food, you're going to smell like garlic, onions, whatever they got in there. But anyhow, it's the same company that makes Andes candies, the Andes mints, but theirs are made a little different. It says And I didn't read anymore after that. So I don't know how or why or what is different, or it's probably, I haven't had an Andes candies in a long time. The mints, oh, you see how much they cost them. So I can't believe the prices. They just keep going up and up and up and up. But anyhow, but also they said that in certain Olive Gardens, you can buy their cheese grater. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Now, back in the day when I used to go with the gift card to Olive Garden, I shouldn't say, I've never walked into a restaurant by myself without kids with me. I could never. I would feel so guilty. I would never do it. Never have, never did, never will. But anyhow, they would always say, do you want some grated cheese? And I would always have it on my salad or on the soup, never on the food, because to me it's like, why ruin this delicious food with putting cheese on it? That's just me. If you do, you boo. I'm just saying so, but I never even thought of the cheese grater. Like, I didn't even think what it was, but apparently they put hard Parmesan. So, I guess if you're not Italian, you might know if you cook, right? So there's Parmesan. When people say Parmesan, you think of the stuff you pour, in the jar and you put it on your spaghetti. Well, and I'm not saying all Italians, but if you're Italian, when you say Parmesan, or however they say it, they mean it's really hard piece of cheese, and you put in a grater. But this grater, they said the brand name, but you can't get it at all Olive Gardens. But I've never seen, I haven't been at Olive Garden, I don't even remember, 10 years more, 15, I don't know, a long time, maybe 10. But anyhow, I never saw, like, in a display, they had their grater, and I never even thought of it. I think a lot, but I didn't think of that. But they had a link that they have one by the same company in Amazon, so I just looked it up because now I'm curious. So I looked it up, and it looked plastic to me. So how you can put that hard piece of Parmesan, and if you never seen it, don't know what it looks like when you're in a grocery store, sometimes look, it's a very hard piece. A lot of people, again, Italian, put it in soups, I don't know, I'm thinking someone brought a soup once, it was so good, a long time ago, this was my first marriage, minestrone, and so when I watched channels, and well, she had said something about a piece of cheese, so I had never heard that. But anyhow, when you watch cooking vlogs, you see they say, well, you put the end part of your Parmesan, I like how they say it differently, but anyhow, into the soup. It gives it such a good taste. Just like, I don't know if any of you cook with bay leaves. I remember my mom always did. I always did in my first marriage. I haven't recently, well, because I don't have any bay leaves, and it's so much money. I don't really make enough soup to make it worth the while. But anyhow, I just thought it would be a fun fact of Olive Garden. So if you have any kind of fun facts about things like that, have you ever even been to Olive Garden? Or do you not know? If you've been to an Olive Garden, ate there, like it, don't like it, whatever, press the like button if you've been to Olive Garden, so I can know how many people have been to Olive Garden. It would be interesting to know. But anyhow, let me know if you watched the movie and what you thought of it. That's the one my son picked out, and gosh, it was so good. It just really was such a good movie. Oh, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to ruin it. It was like all through the thing. Good movie, great movie. You may not like it, I don't know, but I'm just saying, as far as it's about the heart, people's hearts, what you do from your heart. And to me, in life, it shouldn't be about superficial outside, people's looks. Like I said, growing up, when I was young, I was a model, and I hated that because it's not what's outside, it's what's inside. Because as we get older, the outside changes, and the inside, well, I shouldn't say always, because I am witnessing through this awful life experience we're going through that people's insides do change, but usually a true person doesn't. But anyhow, great movie, watch it. Hit the like button if you have been to an Olive Garden. So for now, don't forget to subscribe, like, share our channel, be kind to people who don't know what they're going through, pay it forward if you can, and be the reason someone smiles today. Thanks for watching. Bye.